Well, I have a very interesting topic for you today. And honestly, I've been wanting to do this sort of criticism for quite a while now, but I just never really could find the words. However, now is a great time to say how I feel about loot boxes and just gambling mechanics in general in any of these video games. And I honestly think this is the biggest thing that irritates me the most about video games is the fact that there's so many exploits and stuff just to steal people's money that it's immoral and the companies just don't care. Hell, even the law doesn't care at this point, and it's just irritating to me. Now, I don't know if you know this or not. If not, this may come as a shock to you all, but I used to have a gambling problem. I used to be a gamble addict with at the real lottery, like scratch cards and whatever. That was my biggest thing that I was addicted to. I hope this doesn't paint a bad picture, but I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, like outright. Maybe some people know, maybe some people don't, but either way, I was addicted to that sort of thing. I spend thousands upon thousands of dollars, and I know how it feels to be stuck in a position where you feel like the only way to get satisfaction in your life is to win and or to get that thing you desire, no matter how much money it takes, how much like no matter it almost seems like it takes over your mind, and it consumes you. It turns you into a different person. And luckily for me, i've I've actually quit about couple 2.5 years ago on Father's Day. Actually, I had to go to the ER for to get my knee worked on or whatever, and I almost lost my knee thanks to Lyme disease. So that kind of woke me the hell up, and with the help with the help of my friends, luckily that's not a thing anymore. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I've been reading stories on how kids and hell, not even just kids, but just anyone in general is addicted to these loot boxes in FIFA, or hell, a lot of these gacha games as well, because they found something that they like, or they found something that gives them satisfaction, for example, like whether it's winning in FIFA or getting that character they want in Mario Kart Tour so bad because it looks cool. But it all brings down the same thing where it's an addiction. And so many people just don't understand. This isn't something that you can just stop on a dime. I know it's from outside sources. It seems like it's your fault because you have the ability to stop, but you just choose not to, so you deserve to lose all your money. That's not the case. This is coming from somebody who is in that position. It may not be video games, but it's still the same concept. I know that feeling when you see your eyes on a prize and you want it very badly and you just have that just one more mentality. Oh, it's like, oh, I have this much money to play with. It's fine. I'll quit when I get there. But then you realize you don't get what you want when you do spend that money. So $20 turns into 40, 40 into 80, 80 into 160. It goes on and on and on. It's almost like an act of hypnotism where you get so invested into this that sometimes you don't even think. The only thing that you can possibly think of at that time is that will to win. That thing you want it so bad. And at that point, it's like, when you finally get it, sometimes you don't even feel the reward. Like, there's so many times, me personally, I'll maybe win something that looks really cool, but then I realize I almost spent 3 times as much to get it. Enough about me. Let's look into some of these stories that I've read. I know that there's these articles where these kids would spend so much money in FIFA hoping to get that player that they really, really love. Or hell, I bet it happens in Madden too, but I just haven't really seen anything on that game, surprisingly. Probably because the US never wants to post any of that. But I notice in the UK this story's popping up where kids will admittedly spend like all of their allowance as soon as they get it on these loot boxes, or even worse. They're going to supreme lengths to like steal money from their parents or something to get it, and that's not cool. Now I know many of you are saying, well, it's the parent's responsibility. Well, yes, it is. But there's also some things that you simply just can't control, and there's other things that you're just completely oblivious to. Especially when you look at the rating of these freaking games that have actual gambling in them, and they're rated E for everyone or Peggy 3. This game is safe for 3-year-olds, but it has real life gambling in it. And there's always that topic of, oh, it's not real gambling because you're not getting money in return. That's bullshit. The definition of gambling is risking something you own for a chance of getting a desired reward. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be money. Technically, it's not real gambling because you're spending money on the credits. Then you're using the credits to purchase these random chance surprise mechanics. Oh, fuck off. You're still anteing money for a chance at this stuff. I've also read statistics that 1 out of every 10 children who play FIFA may suffer from a gambling problem in the future because of how much money they spend. 10% of kids! That's ludicrously high. There's something seriously wrong with this. Another thing that really gets me going too is the fact that companies just don't give a shit. They act like they're customer friendly, but really all they want is your money in the end. I guess one of the good examples is Pokemon Go again, and it's funny, I just thought about this before I started recording, and if you really think about it, eggs and raid bosses are loot boxes in disguise. 100% they are. And then honestly, it's not even really about the items like I was complaining before. There's some people that will drop $20 in a day for a chance to get a shiny. And that's still gambling. You're gambling your money for a chance at a freaking different colored Pokemon. But people do it. And it's apparent. I've seen Reddit threads saying, oh, I'm on my 30th raid and no luck, but I know I'll get it next time. That's the shit I'm talking about. It honestly, because I've been in this position before and I know how it feels, you'll do anything to get that reward and nothing else matters. I was in that position where I was sacrificing full paychecks as soon as I get them in order to get something I wanted. And it's not healthy. And now I'm seeing stories where other people are doing the same thing for video games, and it's just, I don't know, like, it hurts. It really does, because it's one of those things that's like, I know how it's been. And other people told me the same thing. Well, if you really cared, it's easy to stop. Just stop doing it. But it's not. It's not easy. You can't just turn off a switch and stop. It's one of those things where sometimes you'll walk away. Maybe you'll be good, and maybe you'll be done for a week. But then there's like this little feeling in your head. It's like someone poking you in the head like this repeatedly, and the feeling will not go away until you just give in and just go right back to the same bullshit again. I know it. That's how I felt, and I know exactly how it feels with these people too. And another story too is I know someone personally who lives in Belgium, and as you know, gambling, any game with gambling in it or gambling like elements is banned in Belgium, which is good. Except they didn't account for this. My buddy wanted to play Mario Kart Tour so bad that he pretty much changed the IP address and whatever on his phone just so he can play it. Which I suppose wouldn't be so bad. Until I figured out that a month later he spent over $250 trying to get characters and carts that he wanted to be on the leaderboard. There's a fucking reason why it was banned. And now you know why. I scolded him. I said to him when he downloaded it, be careful, this game is predatory. This game will not give a shit. It will rig itself just so you have to spend more money. Like, I don't even care. You can see those high end, there's 100 different loot boxes or whatever in the special pack, and these 3 are guaranteed. Okay, yeah, they are guaranteed. But who's to say they're not going to rig it until the final 10? It's already been proven that these things are rigged. I know 100% for a fact. I've already experimented this shit with Pokemon Go before, too, where I purposely don't use any healing items for an entire week, and that's all I kept getting out of these fucking raids. But other people who probably spend money more than I did, they're getting shit that they want left and right. And I know this is just a ploy. Even Niantic themselves says, oh, play the game more to get desired rewards. Translation, spend money or don't get what you want. These companies don't fucking care. Anything that's a gacha game or has any sort of random mechanics can easily be manipulated against you. It doesn't matter. This is the reason why Pokemon Masters can suck it as well. I said back then that I don't understand how suckers could spend $26 million in a week on this game. But now I kind of understand why. It definitely has something to do with the fact that you want to get your favorite trainer and you want to discover their backstory, blah, 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 whatever the reason is, because I understand that some characters have backstories that you can unlock, you can, learn more about them, use them, etc. And the gacha system is the main reason why. I can guarantee that if it weren't for this gacha system, and if it was more so maybe like Dr. Mario World, I can guarantee that this game probably would have made maybe a third of what it would have. In the end, what I'm trying to say is that this shit needs to be regulated. This shit needs to stop. Luckily for me, I escaped my gambling addiction, and I no longer do it. I've already spent so much money on stupid shit that means nothing. But now it's in video games. And luckily I don't play any sports games just because I'm not a sports game person, but one of those things that I was honestly genuinely curious about Mario Kart Tour just to see how it played until I realized, well, I might as well not even fucking bother because I have to deal with these loot box mechanics. I know better. Anytime there's a random chance in a video game that's an online game, it's going to be rigged against you. There's people I know in RuneScape as well that they'll keep buying keys to open chests, which are just fucking loot boxes. That literally is a fucking loot box, just to get the desired reward. And some items, whether they're cosmetic or whatever, they can only be claimed by the treasure hunter minigame, aka loot boxes. Honestly enough, that was one of the things I wasn't addicted to. That's kind of shocking, to be honest, because I've never had a problem with that treasure hunter game. You would think I would. I don't recall ever buying keys once. I think I only used free and earned ones. But still, this shit needs to be regulated. I mean, there was a lot of countries that banned GTA because that's a real casino. They banned the casino because it has real gambling in it. How is that different than FIFA? How is it different than Mario Kart Tour? How is it different than any of these other games that you're literally giving money for a chance of getting something? The answer is it's not. It's not different. It aggravates me so much. And to anyone that has a problem and they're blaming them, I mean, yes, technically it's their decision, but sometimes you get so involved into something and it's hard to walk away. It really is. It also comes down to, it was really difficult for me to stop playing Pokemon Go because I invested so much time into it. So you kind of have that feeling of, well, I invested this much money or time, so if I stop now, it'll all be for nothing. That's a thing too. Like, you feel like you're obligated to keep continuing because you've already spent so much and you don't want the money you spent to go to waste. So it's an endless cycle that just destroys you from the inside out. It destroys you financially and it destroys you mentally. This shit needs to stop. I hear that there's something going on in the UK that they're working to try to regulate loot boxes. If you're going to put these mechanics in a video game, it needs to be rated accordingly. FIFA should not be rated 3 and up. It should be rated 18 and up, because gambling, there's a reason why actual gambling is rated 18 and up, because it's predatory and addictive. And kids do not know any better. Yes, I understand that the parents need to watch their kids. But sometimes even parents don't know any better, and I understand that as well. You buy your 10-year-old son FIFA thinking that it's just a sports game. How the fuck is he supposed to know that it has gambling in it? You like gamble like like that's the absurd thing. Like that's the ridiculous thing. At least with GTA, I guess it was plainly obvious because it's a casino. Casino equals gambling. I get it. But with these other games, it's not as easy to recognize. So that's why I needed to make a video on this, because it hurts me just to see so many different people, old, young, whoever, that have a serious problem with these damn loot boxes and these damn gacha games. I don't even want to know how much money my buddy in Belgium spent on Mario Kart Tour. I was afraid to ask him ever since. This is a thing that needs to be regulated, and it even not even just regulated, but just spread awareness. Just know what you're buying before you buy it. If you look at most of these mobile games, 99% of them are going to be pay to win. It, like for example, Pokemon Unite, I can guarantee if there's a season pass, whatever the fuck it is, like people are upset that that game possibly has a season pass and oh, there's stuff in the game that makes you progress farther. Well, no fucking shit. It doesn't matter. I mean, games are starting to turn in from free to play to free to start. And you know what free to start means? Well, if you don't plan on adding another weekly expense to your freaking bills, then don't even bother download the game at all. Because you probably won't have fun unless you dump boatloads of money into it. Hell, maybe you won't even have fun once you do that. But that game, to these game companies, it doesn't matter. Morality? Fuck it. Who cares when your money could be theirs? And that's all I really have to say in the matter. My voice sounds shot just because it's like I finally I got this out of my chest, but boy, this is exhausting to think about. It sucks. I know how it feels, and honestly, just sitting back and just watching other people suffer the same fate as me, but even worse so because it's video games, and maybe sometimes you just don't know any better because, hey, people don't think of video games and gambling together. But the matter of fact is that is a real thing in today's day and age. This needs to be regulated, the word needs to spread, and people need help. Maybe not me specifically. Luckily, I wisened up, and I was lucky enough to escape such a terrible fate. But for others, EA is mooching off them and stealing their money as we speak. All I can say is just be careful what kind of games you play, because you never know what kind of terrible, manipulative, evil monetization schemes are standing back waiting just to take all of your money. And what I've definitely learned is that a little bit of help from anyone can go a long way.